What's going on, you feisty mofos? JonGTFO here, and welcome back to a little bit of FM14 for you. So, this is the comeback season, and I'm going to be going with the Eagles' ascension. Crystal Palace in the Premier League, predicted 20th. Possibly the hardest job in the Premier League. Hull was going to be an easy shout as well, but I'm coming at you here with a bit of a more of an edited series. I think I'm going to go with this time round. I've been away, but the ideas are still in there. Still in there, boys. Still in, and girls. Girls, if you're watching. Don't need to be sexist. So, let's get to it. The squad. Decent bunch of lads, to be honest. Got quite a few injuries, though, at the start of the season, which is going to set us back. A lot of young talent, but, you know, there's a couple of oldies and a couple of crappers that I want to get rid of before the season starts, but we shall see how it goes. Key players. Mr. Mile Jedinak? I'm going to say Jedinak. I'm going to get that wrong so much. Looking like a very solid defensive midfielder, which for this team is going to be so needed. That work rate in that teamwork, I'm liking it. And he's only 28. Not that old, but getting towards it. But he's not going anywhere. He's wanted, but he's not going anywhere. Young, Spanish, and doesn't have a buyback clause at Real Madrid? Huh, who would have thought it? Jose Campaña. What a tasty looking player he's going to be. Probably going to be playing that deep line playmaker for me in the midfield. High hopes for this kid, only 20, 1.7 million from Sevilla. I'm really hoping he can make a big impact this season. And finally, the man, the myth, the legend, Marouane Chamakh. Oh dear God, looks like I'm going to have to rely on him up front. I've got a bit of money, but I'm just going to have to hope Chamakh has a big season, starts to hit a bit of form, maybe getting some big goals for us. But I don't like having to say he's a key player, but at this team he really is. The tactics. As you can see on screen, this is the tactic that I'm probably going to be playing throughout most of the season. It is a 4-5-1 rigid counter formation. With a team like this, you can't really be expecting to dominate games possession-wise. You haven't really got the creativity in there from some of the players to really be able to do that. So, this is a tactic I'm going to be using. I developed this on my Newcastle save, actually, and it's called How to Beat Chelsea, because I beat Chelsea twice in one season with it. So I was pretty happy with that. So hopefully I can sort of replicate the results on this game. But, you know, there's a lot of positions that I need to fill in, really. The transfers needed. So every role that is currently filled in on the tactic is a role that I am reasonably happy with the squad. Everywhere else is somewhere I feel we need a bit of a depthening in the squad. So both wingers, a box-to-box midfielder, and a centre-back, and a keeper, because Speroni, although good, is getting a bit old now. The targets. First up, we have Stefan Strandsberg. Tasty little bargain buy. Who doesn't like one of those? Hopefully strengthen up our defence. Really cheap, really young. Could develop into a nice little player. We'll have to have a look a little bit more of him, get a scout report. Next up, former Liverpool and PSG man, Mohamed Sissoko. Could solve my ball-winning midfielder, box-to-box player that I need in centre mid. But, you know, wages could be a problem with all that experience that he's coming in. But if I can broker a deal, I see him being a solid signing. Yosei Benayoun again, a bit of experience. Bit old though at 33. If I do get him, it might only be a 1-2 year contract, but could solve that problem out wide for the time being until I can afford maybe a decent player. Oh, don't want to say decent because he's a good, decent player. Maybe a younger, more vibrant player towards the end of the season if I do stay in the Premier League. But for now, could be a seriously good signing on a free as well. Simone Pepe here, probably the long shot of all my targets to be honest, is listed by Juventus for loan. I'm not going to look for a transfer. He is listed for loan at 50% of his wage, which maybe is affordable for us. We'll have to search more into that. Could be solving that problem out wide for me. Is a bit aggressive for my liking, but you know, that could be a good thing at the end of the day. He's getting a bit old though, and his natural fitness is only a 4, so I don't know, we'll have to look a bit more around the wingers, but if it comes down to it, he could really do a job for me out on the wing. Now, I said I want a new goalie. Now, Antonio Adan is on a free, 26-year-old Spanish keeper. Nice looking stats there. He's got a reflex of 17, on one-on-ones of 12. You know, he's kind of an average player, but I don't know whether he's the right fit for me to develop. But he could be a good cover for Julian Speroni if I give him one more season, then hopefully be able to afford a better keeper at the end. But we shall see. Now, in an ideal world, Alex McCarthy would be the keeper that I'm buying. 23-year-old English keeper at Reading. Very promising stats for a 23-year-old. Is valued at 3 million though. With my budget, it's not really going to be a possible. But, I don't know, we shall see. Maybe the money needs to be spent on strengthening other areas of the squad rather than improving somewhere which is already slightly above average for the squad. So, you know, we shall see. Lastly, possibly an interesting signing here in Samba Diakite from QPR. Played in the Premier League last season, was a bit on and off if I'm honest, but QPR have listed him up here on the transfer list, and he's got a nice little bit of stats to be honest. Defensive / centre midfielder, could be that box to box, could be that ball winner that I'm looking for. And if he's cheap enough, wages are 25k though, and I don't think I can go above that if I'm honest. So if we can get his wage down a bit, possibly look to get him in. 24 years old as well, he's got a lot of potential to grow. So, you know, could be an interesting one. The expectations. Right, now let's be honest, in real life no one's expecting Crystal Palace to stay up. But I've been told that the board think that I can avoid relegation. And to do this, they've given me a transfer budget of 4.55 million and a wage budget of 509, of which currently we are spending 470, about that. So that's quite a tasty little transfer budget, I won't lie, but it needs to be spent wisely and maybe invested more heavily in wages so I can get some of these free transfers in that we've talked about already. You know, avoiding relegation's always going to be the tough thing to do here, but I think if we set out right with our tactics, we should be sorted. Alright guys, now I'd just like to thank you for watching. This has been my first episode back. Bit weird doing this all again. But you know, we're going to get into the swing of things more as we develop through the season. This has been episode 1 of the Eagles Ascension. Or the Eagles Ascend. I haven't really picked a name. I think it's going to be Ascend. I'm going to go with Ascend, whatever. But I'd like to thank you for watching. It's been a long time since I've done one of these. And I'm hoping you like the new layout. I quite like it, to be honest. I think it's best to watch. It doesn't last too long as well. That's the sort of problem I had with my old FM videos. Need to get them short, to the point, and enjoyable for the viewer. And please leave your comments down below if you have anything you think I can improve on. All criticism will be taken into account. And any transfers as well you guys should try and get. As Crystal Palace, you've seen my budget and you know that I can't really spend that much on players. Loans would be great. You know, I've looked at Alex Butner, players like that. Possible, you know, but I didn't really throw them in the transfer targets because they're not really going to be up there with my main ones. But, you know, any players you think, free, maybe on the cheap side, on loan, give us a shout and we'll see what we can do. But guys, if you did enjoy the video, please like the video because it does promote penis growth. And let's be honest, guys, who's like a bit of penis growth, eh? Because I certainly do. Alright, thank you boys and girls. See you later.